Welcome, everybody, to the Home Service Insider Series brought to you by Breezy. I'm your host, as always, TJ Todd. We've got a really great session lined up for you today. If you've ever felt like private equity-backed companies in your market are just starting to take market share, and they got those big budgets, it's really hard to compete with all of the money they're pouring into the marketing. You're not alone. Everybody's kind of feeling this right now. We don't have to sell to be successful. We don't have to sell to just have an exit strategy. We can build a business that is profitable, something we can hand down to our kids. Today, we are going to break down how contractors can actually compete and win without trying to outspin those private equity guys. So I want to introduce you to Breezy for those of you who might be new to the show. Really, there are two main ways that we help HVAC, plumbing, and electrical business owners thrive. We offer a modern AI-enabled field management software program, and it's built to give your customers the experience that they really expect today. And we still deliver all that powerful functionality of all the big name CRMs just without that big price tag. On average, Breezy users are seeing a median 19% year-over-year growth compared to other platforms. So if you're interested in that, we can definitely support you there. Secondly, we help contractors capture more opportunities with our AI lead capture tools. Those things include an AI CSR voice agent, a website chatbot, and an online booking feature. So those are integrated into the FSM, or they can plug directly into your existing software so you don't have to switch. These tools are helping contractors book up to 30% more calls from the traffic that they're already getting without adding any headcount. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce today's guest, Michelle LaFrance. She is a very close friend of mine, a very close friend of the show. And she's a home service growth strategist who helps contractors really modernize their marketing and compete more effectively in today's market. Just with the way that AI search is working, with this new era of the internet and how consumers are finding information, we really want to be strategic. And Michelle is absolutely strategic. She's known for helping privately owned shops identify what's outdated in your business practices. She helps you build stronger visibility, and she helps you implement those strategies that actually drive growth, and we don't have to rely on those massive budgets. So one thing that's really cool that she's been working on is the ductless directory, and it's designed to help contractors get more visibility, especially right now with the AI-driven search, by positioning your business where customers are already looking, and to really leverage offsite SEO and search everywhere optimization to help you get seen. So if you want to learn more about how to get listed on that directory, you can scan the QR code. It's just $37 a month, and it's designed to help you show up stronger in those Google AI search results. So let's bring on Michelle. I'm really excited to get into today's content. So Michelle, thank you so much for being here today. How are you doing?
My pleasure to be here, and I'm doing really good. I get a little excited when we get a chance to talk about these nerdy things, and especially how you and I can be working together to help contractors. So I'm excited.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about the ductless directory, how it works, and kind of how it ties into today's topic of competing with private equity.
Yeah, here's a message for anybody that ever had an idea. The Douglas directory is a strategy. It's not like I set out to build a directory. I was setting out to solve a problem because I used to have a full service digital agency where we were building websites, and we always had to figure out how can my website be more relevant to Google than the competitors, right? And so I was looking, we all know the backlink story is so old school, but back in the day, we were looking for backlinks that were highly relevant and high in authority. And we're always scrambling. Where do we get them? Where do we get them? And we were studying what Google wants, and Google wants two things and two things only. They want to know that you're relevant and that you have authority over and above every other contractor in your market. And so I went to my team and I said, well, let's build it. And they said, build what? And I said, I don't know, the thing that's highly relevant and high in authority. And at the time I was living in Portland, Oregon, where the ductless heat pump really, it was a thing, right? Like everybody wanted to be the ductless guy. And I said, well, I don't know, why don't we do something ductless? And so there you have it. There's the ductless directory. Now, since I created that years ago, we've created so many more things, but it starts. The first step is always the directory. And my presentation is a little different today, CJ. because I went to like, well, what are people doing? We're going to Chat GPT and we're asking questions, right? So I went to Chat GPT and I asked it some questions. And so I'm like, well, you don't have to take my word for it because I've been banging this drum for a little while. I went to Chat GPT and asked it, are directories part of an SEO strategy today? And you're going to find out what Chat GPT had to say about that and many other things because just a year ago, CJ, when I used to speak at events, I used to say these three things. Your industry has changed, your industry is changing, the search is changing, and the way the consumer searches for the contractor is changing. And here we are talking about change and how rapid it is. I'm like, well, I can't say that anymore because it's all changed. It's all your industry, it's changed. The Google search, it's changed. The way the consumer, it's changed. It's already done. So the key and what you and I are going to be collaborating about, what I'm going to be talking about is adapting to change and getting stuck and being addicted to your website
Mm.
and your SEO and paid ads is like a death trap. It really is. It's just not going to work anymore. You have to have other things. And here's the good news, CJ. This is why I get so freaking pumped up.
Give it to me.
Bring it, right? Well, timing is everything. I like speaking and identifying windows of opportunity. So for the average contractor, they're like, oh crap, PE is coming in. And guess what? They are gunning for you. They do have bigger budgets. They can buy more paid ads and do all that. And they can even target the contractors, right, that I represent. So I'm here for the family and independently owned contractor. That's my base. But here's the good news. It could seem overwhelming, like, oh, PE is here, and oh crap, the search has just changed and I'm not prepared. But like, if you want to know how do you kill two birds with one stone, it's the same solution. What works to conquer and fight against PE will also work in the AI era. And so this window of opportunity, really see it as an opportunity. That's my biggest thing for contractors. Truly see the AI and all of it, it is an opportunity because if AI didn't come into place, PE would probably outspend you and push you around. But no, oh no, 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 we're pushing PE off the first page of the search, right? So you just can't sit back and rely on a big budget anymore. You just really have to play a smarter game. It's what I've always talked about. Let's outsmart the PE. Let's outsmart the AI. As a matter of fact, can we train the AI to favor our contractors? And the answer is yes. So
Absolutely.
pay attention today
And
because it's an exciting time.
absolutely. You said earlier, you've been beating this drum for a long time. And I mean, I'll say I've been, staying abreast of all the AI changes for a very long time. And I can say that you're the first really person that I've known to talk about this topic. And, you know, more people are jumping on the train now, but like I've heard you speak about, offsite authority, offsite SEO,
Yeah.
being omnipresent, not, depending on your website as your singular asset. So I think the industry is getting a little bit more like smart to that concept. But ladies and gentlemen, Michelle's been doing this since day one. So I'm
I
uh,
have.
I'm really excited to be involved with you and just understand how we can grow together and help contractors grow as well. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, do you want to jump into your presentation now?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll
If I
launch that.
could. Okay. Yeah. So here we go. So it's the difference between chess or checkers, right? And I love this analogy because there is an old way of doing things and there is a new way. And what CJ and I have been collaborating and talking about is you have to get on board with the new way. And again, the window of opportunity is upon us. So the old way is you're kind of relying on the website and SEO and paid ads. And I get it. Contractors have a really tough business to run. There's so many moving parts. Like if they could only just go like, let's just throw some money on it and the leads will come. And it's not like that anymore. So you have to be more of a strategist. And good news, I'm a strategist. So I've always seen the big picture and I'm like, okay, how can we influence that? How can we manipulate that? How can we outsmart that? So it's a really good time to be doing things different. So, CJ, the last time you and I had this conversation, we should have had a mic on. We should have recorded it because CJ was going, well, what is SEO anyway? Like, what does anybody think that SEO is? And it's this term that's out there, and we think it's all the same thing. You got an agency doing SEO, and you got an agency doing SEO, and we treat it as if it's the same thing. But there's some really crappy SEO out there that people call SEO. And I'm like, no, you can't even call that SEO. So
Michelle, I like to jump in right there. I just want to say, like, ask your agency what they're doing for SEO. And if their answer is just SEO, like, oh, we got it's a long-term thing. If you don't know exactly, like, I mean, obviously you don't have to become an SEO expert, but kind of just stress test what's happening,
yeah,
because
that's so
most
good.
contractors even know what SEO, like what their SEO agency is actively
Yeah,
doing.
well, we don't. A lot of people like, unless you're in the business, like, do you really know what it is? And sometimes it's like, well, we're doing a blog every day. Well, that's a little lame. It just requires more than a blog every day. It's different. And the reason that CJ and I are really excited about working together, and so I'll introduce you in case you didn't know, there is on-site SEO and there is off-site SEO. Two separate birds, okay? But they work together. And when they work together and they support one another, the offsite SEO elevates the website points back at the offsite SEO, and we start doing what I call building your online footprint. So stop focusing. Your website is one asset. It's one asset. You can make it 1,000 pages. I don't care. Make it 20,000 pages. It's still one asset, right? And the AI is searching for other things. So I went, okay, and I asked the AI all kinds of questions. And so I said, well, tell me, riddle me this. And so my presentation today is going to be a mix of results that we're seeing and strategies that we have, along with, like, if you don't believe me, believe the AI. Here's the thing. The AI is synthesizing information from multiple web sources to create a concise top of page summary, acting more as an answer engine than a traditional link. CJ, we talked about this as well, right? So there's all kinds of conversations out there from web developers. You got to build a website this way, you got to build it this way. When we are in the midst of the change that we are in right now, there is no one way. So I want to give some contractors a little bit of relief, like, like, oh, if you don't do this one thing, you're going to die. No, that's not true, right? So but the way that the consumer is searching has changed. So some consumers still, I call it the legacy way of searching. You put a product and service and a location in the search bar and you see who comes up. There's plenty of people that still search that way. There's a ton of people. That's not going away. They put in whatever they put in, HVAC in Jacksonville, uh, ductless heat pump installation in Idaho, whatever. So some people are searching that way, but some people are using chat or Claude, and some people are going to the top of the search where the AI overview exists.
Michelle, that data point is 1 in 4 people are not searching traditionally anymore. So all the 4 major LLMs taking Google AI search recommendations. ChatGPT is about to come out with its own browser, so
Yeah,
things
yeah.
change
It's evolving for sure. And we can't ignore the Claude and the Chat GPT. I'll just put a little insert here for one of my clients that's in my program, and we do many things. And I just love it when my clients call me up and they go, "You're gonna love this." And I go, "What?" And I go, "Well, this person was searching for such and such. And there's some places in the nation where the wildfires become a big thing, and they were looking for a heating and cooling system that had the filtration or whatever. And they found my client. Both Claude and JPT, ChatGPT found my client. And he's like, well, you're the one. He closed a $60,000 deal for somebody who's specifically looking for that. So thanks for the statistic. Well, here's the thing. You got to feed the beast. So
rapidly.
the
Yep.
AI, yeah. I was going to get a really gnarly looking beast, but I went with Cookie Monster. But Cookie Monster ate everything in sight. Like he was insatiable, right? You just couldn't eat enough cookies. And so you have to think of the AI like this. It is just gobbling up and it's looking for information. And so you have to feed the beast. This is why your website alone isn't going to work anymore. So CJ and I talked about this thing. Well, what could we do? That would be 5 easy ways to start beating private equity, and execute on any of these is going to be in your advantage. So you're going to use directories. Now, there are many types of directories, but there are some contractors, and it's not a bad SEO play to get in as many directories as you can, but not any directory because some of them are spammy, right? So when you use directories, they're pretty much Google indexes them, right? And so getting in a directory does so much for you. It gives you, yes, a backlink, but it gives you a citation. That's also going to increase your map listing. It gives you third-party validation. And I'm going to tell you what ChatGPT said. I'm going to let them, I'll share that with you. And then building third-party validation. This is something that you cannot get enough of. Like Google, chat, whatever. They expect you to say great things about yourself. And really, when we go to websites and I look at one HVAC website and the next, is the copy, is the words on the page, is it really all that different? And it's really not, okay? And so, like, how much can you say? So you have to build that third-party validation. Video marketing, YouTube is the second largest search engine. And so there are some people that just go to YouTube and do their search. It's not like everybody's going to Google anymore. They're going to videos, they're going to the AI agents, they're going to the overview, they're doing all kinds of things. And then news. I have a newsmaker program, which I'll talk to you about. And basically, it's building your authority. If we know that Google, oh, and this is a really good point, CJ, too. When a client comes to me, I'm always thinking from two perspectives. So I have to think about how can I present this contractor to Google in a way that makes sense to Google. So you have to do a site architecture and you have to build a site in a certain way. But we also have to present that contractor in a way that makes sense to the consumer. And they're two different things, right? And so building your authority off your website is great for Google because it keeps finding you here and there and everywhere. It is very disruptive. It's very good for you when the consumer finds you in multiple places because we stop the shop. And I've seen it where consumers go out looking and they find one of my contractors and they go, well, I was looking for whatever, XYZ, and I found you in this directory, and then I found this video, and then I found you in the news, and then I found you in this featured article, and then I found you in this other video. And well, I guess, and it was all on the first page. Well, I guess you must be the right contractor. So we stop the shopping, disrupting the three competitive quotes that consumers want to do, because why do they do that? They're unsure. They're like, am I going to get ripped off? Am I going to get burned? Like we're building trust.
Yep.
It's a trust signal. And if we start relieving that, and like, oh, I just saw them in USA Today and I just saw them here and there, we start relieving that angst. And when they find you, another contractor, $100,000 high-end thing, same thing. The consumer was a woman. And she said, I just wanted the best contractor I could find for, obviously, if you got 100,000 HVAC installation in a residential area, you want the best, right?
And I'll just echo exactly what you said there. The LLMs are designed to prioritize the consumer and what they're looking for. So if
Yeah.
you can be the ultimate source of information, either on your site and on other sources of authority online, then it's training the LLM to align you with the
Yes.
best interests of the consumer, right? And when you can be bold in that approach and talk about things that the consumer is frustrated that they can't find, like some degree of pricing transparency. If you can talk about your competitor, look, your consumers are gonna find your competitors, and they're gonna find what your competitors are about. So why not let them find that on your site? Own your competitors. So we'll get into the little nuances,
There's
throughout the
so
show.
much. It's such a big topic, right? And content, having the right, So that's a good point too, CJ. It's not about quantity. So some of the things that we see people do is just going out and just going batshit crazy over creating content. And the AI is smarter than that. So it's not a numbers game in terms of how much content you can create. It's always going to be a quality. It's a quality. Diversify your content in a quality kind of a way. So let's see what ChatGPT said about directories. I'm like, okay, all right. Hey, ChatGPT, what do you think? Do directories still matter? And so this is the answer. They matter more than they ever did. And the reason being is because they built entity authorities. CJ talks a lot about trust. I talk a lot about authority. Like, can somebody tell that you're different than every other contractor? And so Google's not ranking websites anymore. They're looking for entities. They're looking for that building of authority. And so directories help reinforce your business name, your NAP, which is your name, address, and phone, is really the consistency of that is really important. And when you get found on a directory, so that site is called a citation. And where can Google find your NAP? Someplace other than your website. Your website has your name, address, and phone, but where else can they find it? And the same thing, CJ. It's looking for places that offer high relevancy and high authority. That citation is better than running out and getting 1,000 citations. So clients say, I wasn't on the map. I'm now on the map. I was third on the map. No, I'm number one on the map. It's one of the best strategies you can have for getting more map visibility. All right. Reason number two, they feed the AI and the AI overview. Directories act like training data for AI models. Okay. So every contractor, just listen to this. It's just like when you think about how expensive anything is, right, when it comes to SEO, let alone getting found. My directory, it is a niche directory. It's for anybody. If you have anything to do with selling heat pumps or ductless heat pumps or air conditioning or anything like that, just get in the directory because it feeds your company information to the AI. Okay. So if you're in the right places, you're more likely to get recommended, summarized, be included in best results. And I'm going to show you some stunning AI overview results. Stunning. And then reason three is there's more than that, but like I didn't want to talk forever about the directory. So they drive referral traffic. And so good directories aren't just sitting there, they build credibility before somebody even hits your site. And they improve the map rankings and its visibility, authority, credibility. Think about it. So for a very nominal fee, you can get in directories and start using that to increase your NAP, to increase the backlinks, to increase your third-party validation. So then, CJ, I had to ask it. I said, well, would you recommend the ductless directory? ChatGPT said, yes, I absolutely recommend the ductless directory. It aligns perfectly where the search is going. So the AI search is shifting toward trusted sources, expert curated platforms, niche authority hubs. So pay attention, contractors. Use directories as a weapon. It's why I didn't set out to create a directory. I'm like, seriously? But it was the strategy. So I'm going to just say a couple things about my directory before we get into all the other topics, but it's not your average directory. It's a consumer resource. So knowing that, I got to present something to Google that will establish my relevancy and authority, but I also have got to do something for the contractors that would speak to the consumer. So when you come to my directory, you notice my directory has a navigation bar because it's a website. It's not just a directory. It is not just a depository for a name, address, and phone number. It's an actual website that a consumer can come, and I don't sell them anything. There's no brands here. There's no nothing. I educate them about ductless mini splits, about the benefits, the solutions, resources, find a contractor. The only thing I'm selling them and educating them is get the contractor straight everywhere on the website. So I am promoting and advocating and educating the consumer that wants to treat the contractor like a commodity. And I say, no, don't do that. Get the right contractor. So there's a lot of third-party validation there. But let's talk about influencing the search. So I'm in New York, and here's a contractor. So I have a hard time grabbing the screenshots to fit on a slide deck, but you can see there's the map, right? So in a traditional search, there was 3 paid ads, there was 3 contractors on the map, and this is the top of the organic search. And you can see that Google shows this contractor's listing in my directory over every other website in the territory. And there are some big players in this territory. There is some PE in this territory. There are people with 1,000-page websites, but Google shows this listing. And the listing that it will find is your listing in my directory. So think of it like I built the mothership, the thing that Google loves, that advocates and promotes the contractors. But when a contractor comes into my directory, they double their exposure in their market. Does that make
Michelle,
sense?
yeah, would you mind going back one slide?
Yes.
So when you say that your website is only one piece, one asset compared to everything else you should be doing online, and that directories are important.
Yeah.
This first result and second result speaks to that perfectly, right?
Yeah.
Grasshopper heating and cooling in the ductless directory is before Grasshopper heating and cooling website.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Right.
interesting.
Yeah. It is interesting. Thank you for noticing that. So it's like when you know how things work, then you can impact the search. And, I've been doing this a little over 20 years in my digital agency. So me and my team, we know how things work. We were building websites before there was ever Google Maps. We were building websites before there was ever YouTube. We've been building them for a long time, so we can be very strategic. But check that out. So the consumer goes to the top and they go, oh, there's Grasshopper, and then there's ductless directory. That's your third-party validation. Oh, and then they go down next, and there's the client. And on the actual search below the client is that question box, which creates some separation between this contractor and the next contractor, right? So already we're helping the consumer favor this contractor. Okay. So the consumer finds your listing. And so that's really important. And so go get yourself signed up. We do vet everybody. So you do have to be a good contractor. And so you'll go on hold right away. And that should reassure you to the fact that my team knows how to vet contractors. If they ever have a question, they'll reach out to me. But we vet everyone. We just want to make sure that you're attached to a brand, that you're, if I'm going to promote you to the consumer, you got to be a good contractor. So do that. And just let that be the first step. So we're moving the needle systematically. So in some markets, my contractor will be on the first page of search 15 times. And that didn't happen overnight. It starts with the ductless directory. And then we start layering in the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And we systematically push the competition off the first page of the search because we're doing multiple things. So I asked ChatGPT, well, why is third-party validation so important to an HVAC contractor? And this is what ChatGPT said. Homeowners don't trust what you say, they trust what others say about you. So stop focusing on your website. It has to be good. It has to be organized in a certain way. It has to be AI friendly. There's so much. But at the end of the day, it's you saying you're great. Number two, Google isn't just ranking websites anymore. All of them, Google, ChatGPT, Claude, are pulling from trusted third-party sources. So get then the ductless directory is third-party validation. Okay. It increases conversions when a homeowner sees reviews, badges, whatever type of accreditation, news feeds. They don't shop as hard. And number four, it levels the playing field between you and private equity because this is something that you can do easily to set yourself apart. And further in my slide deck, I'm going to talk about the truly local promotion that I'm doing because we have a plan and a purpose to fight against PE. So third party validation is key. And when you become a member of the Ductless Directory, we have these badges that you can put on your website that you're featured in the Ductless Directory, an elite group of contractors that I think are the best of the best become a Ductless All-Star, can become a Ductless All-Star. That's another third-party validation. You can get featured in our blog posts very affordably on topics that are really important. And contractors can even tell me, hey, I'd like to have you write a blog post about X and I'd like to get featured in it. Done. I don't charge you for the writing the blog post, but you can pay to be sponsored and get that more third-party validation. We have a newsmaker program. This is my guy in Bozeman, 2 times in USA Today. we're I'm wondering out loud, you know, a lot of consumers are pretty savvy to the fact that people can buy reviews and that there's a lot of fake reviews. They don't really question USA Today. Like that is like, oh, you were featured in USA Today, like boom, instant trust, right? And so Truly Local is a program that in Q2 will stay if you're if you are a family owned or independently owned contractor, you stay very, very close to me. Find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you do, stay very, very close. We're rolling out with some messaging that is going to be very helpful. And CJ, I got to tell you this, a new client of mine out in Massachusetts, and the web form came in and the consumers are getting privy to it. And the guy said, I need a new air conditioner. I'm hoping and praying that you're really a local contractor. Can somebody give me a call? That's an educated consumer going, I don't want that contractor. I really want an independently. So there's so much good news. All right. So that's what we had to say about third-party validation.
And if I can chime in there real quick,
Yeah.
so this whole AI movement did not occur in a vacuum, right? It's still important to have a website. It's still important to invest in SEO. Those things are still going to work for you.
Yes.
The way that the LLMs work is that they're going to go look at what you're saying about yourself and fact check it from other sources of authority that they're saying the same thing. So the more places of authority you can exist and be consistent with your messaging on your site, then it's just going to go to everything that Michelle is saying right now.
It's like multiplies like rabbits. Like I'll post something on the Douglas Directory Facebook page, and then the next day the AI is quoting me. I mean, it's just crazy. So it is happening wicked fast. All right. I did not ask ChatGPT about being featured in the news. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because is it not clear that getting featured in the news might be a good thing for your business? So this is my guy, Matt. He's out in Massachusetts. He's doing amazing things out in, it's a big heat pump state, right? And so he's in my program and we do video marketing for him and he's in the directory and he's a Douglas All-Star. He's in my newsmaker program. We do 4 different types of videos. He's just doing it all. And so recently we got him featured in USA Today. So like, I don't need to ask chat. Like, would that be a good idea? I think it's a good idea for contractors to get into the news. And so I can help with that. And we do it very strategically and we do it and we accompany with some videos and some other marketing. So the third thing that we talked about, CJ, was video marketing. So here's the thing. Google can look at your website and most websites are words and pictures. That's what Google sees, text and images, okay? And it's looking for rich content, right? Well, one of the ways that you can enrich your content is by adding video to it, right? And sometimes people go, oh, okay, and then somebody gets in front of the camera and creates, again, you know, I just see it all the time, thousands of videos. It's not about the quantity of videos. You really have to think about what it is that you're saying that's relevant to the AI. What is it that you're saying so that your video might get ranked? Like there's so much that goes into it. But YouTube is now the second largest search. And what happens with video, well, there's so many, I don't want to call them myths, but misunderstandings about video marketing, CJ. And people just hear it and they go, oh, well, we'll create a video, or we hired this team and they do maybe like a branding type of video. The branding type of video will never rank anywhere on the search because it's not intended to. It's a feel good thing. The airplane comes flying in over the city and you know, those are nice videos, but the AI is never going to pick them up, right? And so there's different types of videos. And in my company right now, we're doing 4 different types of videos. So we just keep evolving and evolving and evolving. And so I'm going to show you some results here in a little bit. It's not your video per se that's going to rank. It is your channel that causes your video to rank. So I reverse engineer everything. And so sometimes it's hard for people to grasp. But if you look at the Douglas Directory YouTube channel, go to YouTube, search Douglas Directory. While you're there, subscribe and like my channel. You'll see that my channel is not new. My channel has been around for like 10 years. We've been building. So once we built the directory, I go, well, let's build a YouTube channel that is what? Highly relevant and high in authority, so that when I create a video for one of my clients, my video will rank in your market. I can go to a market, CJ, and go under the video search and see that there's literally tens of thousands of videos in a market, none of which ever show up on the first page of search. But my video comes to town and it will rank at the top of the search, sometimes in 3 hours. So we have to understand the strategy. And the people like, myself, I've really invested in this for quite a long time. So video makes everything better. You get a video, you add it. First of all, you want a first page ranking video. We wait for it to rank and then we'll add it to the website, pulls the website up. A video can be used in social. A video can be used in your monthly newsletter. A video can be sent out in an email. Videos can be added to press releases. We do video press releases, right? So video is your most powerful and versatile marketing asset that you have. And by the way, our videos have an exceptionally long shelf life. So, in the game of SEO, it's like, who can get to the top and we do more pages and people are doing whatever they're doing. Our videos tend to have a very long shelf life. So you pay for them and like 2 and 3 and 4 years later, they're still sitting there at the top of the search. And I'm like, who knew? One of the videos that we're working on, and this is why I say, stay close to me, people. This local thing is about to become a thing because I'm going to make it a thing. And it is about educating the consumer in every market that there's a difference between contractors. They're not all the same. And you really want to keep doing business with a truly local. So that's going to be come and be announced. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So this is an old school search, cold climate, heat pump, Westfield, Massachusetts. This guy is getting leads like crazy. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the AI overview. And if all Google sees is a bunch of websites in a territory, and it likes 3, it typically will put 3 in the AI search. But I have fed the beast in this market, and I will continue to feed the beast in this market. We've got more content coming out, and on the heels of that, more, not just web content, right? And so here we go. This guy has been my client for all of 60 days and just wasn't getting any leads. Well, there he is, number 1 in the AI overview. Here he is, number 2 in the AI overview. Here he is again. Gerard Heating specializes in this. And here he is over here and over here. 5 times in the AI overview because of the types of content. So we are doing a lot in his market. Press releases, he's in the directory. We're doing videos. We're doing case studies. We're doing a lot.
Can you
Oh,
go back real quick, Michelle? I want to bring back up your stop the shop uh
yeah.
analogy. So in the old way of SEO and the last kind of iteration of Google, right? We'd see 3 sponsored posts there that are pay-per-click, and then everybody else is trying to rank for that first spot. And then, there's a map over there. Now, this is really the only thing that anybody needs to look at. And that's how they're navigating it, right? They're not getting much farther past this view when there's a Google AI overview. They're looking at those first kind of couple things and they're saying, wow, okay, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things, out of six options, 5 of them are, Gerard. So Gerard must be the one to go with. So
Yeah.
that's the stop the shop kind of idea that Michelle is talking about, is that if you can own that entire top section, there's really no need and no like demonstratable value to go too much farther down on that page.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's talk about this. I'm going to caution every contractor that's listening. It's not a time to sit back because these results are in the last 60 days, 60 days. Everybody in that market is focused on just a website. It's like stealing candy from a baby. I come in and I go, hey guys, oh, we just did this. Oh, let's look at the search. insist on just relying on your website, you will be the one that gets pushed to the bottom of the search or off the first page. It's so important. All right, we continue to innovate new strategies. And so this is one of the new things that we're doing to really help contractors separate themselves. So I came up with this idea because we know that Google, the AI, can recognize basically three different types of content. Marketing content, which is typically your website, AI content, so the AI can recognize AI content, so don't overly rely on it, and educational content. And so I was like, why don't I, since we're so good at video marketing, why don't I really, and we can take over the search and trigger the AI overview and get chat and all that, Claude and everyone to recognize us. Why don't we actually do a guide on a topic? So I'm in a heat pump state with this contractor, and we're doing endless energy. We're doing a guide to heat pumps. And it's going to be a 7-part series: video, press release, video, press release, video, press release. So what ends up happening in terms of feeding the beast is this series is going to have 7 videos, which guess what can become 7 blog posts, which guess what becomes 7 press releases, guess what becomes 7 newsletters, 7 emails. And each video, you could probably find 5 or 6 slides that's social post worthy, but I just said, what if there's just 3 slides in each video, 21 social posts. And so this is the thinking that I bring to the table in terms of innovating these new strategies. And my first video in that market went to the top of the search in 3 hours. So just pay attention.
Incredible.
Pay attention, because if, when I come into a market, we just disrupt it. And so don't let yourself get the one that gets pushed around, but I will push your competition off the first page of the search. And then this is the YouTube search. So when I go to YouTube, one day ago, so in one day, are cold climate heat pumps a big deal in Massachusetts? Oh, yes, they are. And so there we are, popping to the top of a YouTube search. So these are the things that we're talking about. I'm going to wrap it up here and just say, become a content machine. Don't do the content yourself. Like, do some of it. Like, I know, CJ, with what you're doing, you're going to be creating some really AI good content for AI on your website. But when it comes to off your website, get this multitude, get other people speaking for you. This is a high impact video. This is the owner intensive where I interview the owner. This is a case study. This is a video guide. That's my truly local marketing that's coming out today. These are the accreditations that we give. I can get you in USA Today. Here's my guy, Corey. This guy here in USA Today twice. And so you really, really need to just stop relying on your website and start updating and leveling up to the right type of website with the right type of content, and get those two things working in synergy, and you are going to be gold. Can I promote this event?
Please.
I'd rather ask for forgiveness. I put it in here. Well, CJ's going to be on the show, for God's sake. So we're going to be talking about systems and processes every Tuesday in April. And in the first week of the private equity series, so you're a family or independently owned contractor all month long. Like, I got some really good friends, and we're just gathering to help you guys out. But Built to Win, this is, I slid this in at the beginning. CJ's coming in the episode right after this. But I thought, before we talk about systems and processes to scale your business, let's talk about the system of you. And where are you at? Every single speaker that you see here has overcome an insane amount of adversity, obstacles, challenges, right? And so we're all business owners. We all serve the HVAC industry. We have all had some incredible challenges in our life, and we are gathered to talk about systems, about how you can keep yourself in the game, right? We can all get discouraged. We can all say, F it. We all have bad days. But what is it that we do? And I'll be sharing some tools that I've used in my life to just keep myself grounded, connected to myself, focused on my goals, and handling whatever turbulence comes up in the meantime with actually workshop that I'll be talking about. So, and then CJ's coming in the next episode. We're going to talk about systems, marketing systems.
Yeah. I'm excited for that as well, because and we can get into it a little bit. But the thing is, with Google AI search and all of the LLMs, you really have to understand what your website is doing for you currently and understand the gaps that exist and how to fill those gaps. And so that's what the AI trust score is meant to help you with. So if you want that AI trust score to just see where you're at, you'll get a 1 to 100% score. And based on that score, I can see the things that I need to fix on your website, and then transition those improved trust signals into an ongoing kind of AI stewardship, an offsite SEO stewardship, an AEO stewardship, things that Michelle is already doing very well. And Michelle's going to support with a lot of that. So it really is, lifting up the asset that you hopefully already have, your website that you've been investing in for a while now, making it AI friendly and AI trustworthy. And then what can you do offsite, on an ongoing basis to really improve that AI trust score? And like you said, Michelle, not a ton of contractors are investing in this right now. And so the first mover advantage that a lot of contractors are seeing with you is intense, right? So I'd urge everybody on the call to really take advantage of, that first mover advantage, because being a business owner, and like you'll learn in this Built to Win, how to overcome adversity show, being a business owner is challenging, and it takes some really bold initiatives to give you that competitive advantage. So I'm really looking forward to being part of this series. I'm really looking forward to working with you. And I'm just really excited to see where the industry's headed.
I know. Fear not is what I say. I think the family-owned contractor will prevail. And like I said, I got a lot of good friends in the industry, and so we're all gathering to help, right? That's our target audience. Like, we got to help you win.
Absolutely. And another thing to stand out against private equity is to make sure that you're making the most of every single prospect that comes your way, right? And that's why I'm
Yeah.
really excited to share, on behalf of Breezy, what Breezy's doing really incredibly. And Breezy's doing some awesome things with AI lead capture, and a lot of contractors getting pretty frustrated right now. I feel that there's all these AI tools, they're all siloed. You all have to like patch it into the software that you already use, make sure that it plays nice. And just really, there's not a ton of alignment and like consistency with, software vendors right now. There's a lot of friction in between different software vendors. So that's why Breezy really tried hard to create a field management software that had all of those AI solutions integrated into it, all proprietary, products from Breezy. And so the Breezy AI lead capture tools, can be used regardless of whatever software you're using. So kind of wanted to demonstrate at least one of those tools when kind of at the end of the call today, and I want to leave some room for a Q&A. But I'd love to just kind of demonstrate the AI voice agent that we've set up, both as a after hours CSR and an overflow CSR. So I'd like to bring that up right now and just play a little clip. It's less than 2 minutes, and then we can get into the Q&A. Sound good, Michelle?
Yeah, that works.
Cool.
Thank you for calling Total Home Services. How can I help you today?
Hi, I need help with my air conditioner. It's not turning on.
I'm sorry to hear about your air conditioner not turning on.
And at
Let's
any
get this
point,
sorted
you
out for
guys can
you.
call this number on the screen.
Can I get your name,
test
please?
it out yourself. CJ Todd.
Thanks, CJ. And is the number you're calling from
I'll
209
post it in the
3491524
chat.
the best one to reach you at?
Yes.
Great, CJ. Can you tell me a bit more about the issue with your air conditioner?
Yeah. I just went over to my thermostat and turned it on, and it didn't come on.
Got it, CJ. It sounds like your AC isn't responding at all when you try to turn it on. When someone from our team follows up, what days and times are usually best for you? A couple of options really help.
Yeah, Monday and Wednesday mornings after 9:30.
Noted. Monday or Wednesday mornings after 9:30. Have you worked with us before, or would this be your first time?
Yeah, I haven't worked with you before.
Thanks for letting me know, CJ. What's the service address where the AC needs to be checked?
1234 Cherry Lane, Merced, California, 95348.
Thank you, CJ.
That's not my real
Just one
address,
last
so
quick
you don't
question.
need to send me any
How did
hate
you hear
mail.
about us?
Did a quick Google search.
Thanks for sharing that. Our team will review the details and follow up with you during business hours. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask.
If I need support immediately, can I find some emergency help?
Yes, we offer 24/7 emergency service for HVAC issues. Please note that after-hours calls have a slightly higher service fee. If this is an urgent situation, like no heat and freezing weather, I can transfer you to our emergency line right away. Would you like me to do that?
Oh, no, thank you.
All right, CJ. If you need anything else, don't hesitate to reach out.
Thanks. What do you think, Michelle?
Nice. Nice, nice. I didn't know that you offered that.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are relatively new tools. We launched kind of version 1 about 3 months ago, and the AI is just getting smarter and smarter and smarter with every call we record and feedback into it. So we're working hard on the voice, on the latency, on the empathy, some of the trust signals like repeating back information, using the
Yeah,
customer
yeah.
name.
I
And
thought she did really good.
good. And then really, what the process is that are set up after the call to, integrate into the software, to integrate into, your established CSR technician workflows. If it's obviously after hours, there's some automations that will be set up to communicate with the technicians on call and to initiate email and text with the homeowner as well. So this is one of our tools that we're really proud of. The other two are, an online chatbot that sits on your website that kind of mimics this flow, this interaction
Yeah.
protocol. And the most powerful thing is that online booking widget that's connected straight to your dispatch board. So you can get people can go self-serve on your website. And it's really important for existing customers that already do business with you and don't necessarily need to, jump on the phone and talk to a human being to schedule a maintenance call or, emergency service call. So these are
That's
three
huge.
powerful
And
tools.
that's all part of Breezy now?
So that is available, integrated into the platform. If somebody,
Nice.
turns on Breezy's FSM, and then we also kind of provide those 3 tools a la carte, and we can plug them into the existing software. So
This is so important. I was on Corey's Booked or Busted show, and I know he wants to have you on the show. These revenue leaks, right? Like this is a whole topic in and of itself. Like you spend all this money, you get the lead, great. You didn't get back to the lead quick enough. You don't have anybody answering your phones over the weekends. Okay, not good. Like there are so many possibilities where revenue could fall through the cracks. And so that's a big thing. Let's not have that happen, which is what this episode, the whole month of April, systems. Well, Sean's going to be on as well.
yeah,
You know
Sean,
that.
CEO
Yeah.
of Breezy. So he'll
Yeah.
get a good chance to, demonstrate those tools more, ask specific questions to the CEO and kind of the vision. And, I'll be there from a marketing perspective. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great show.
Oh, it's without a doubt. And the one thing that I like about your AI audit, here we have contractors, probably, a lot of them confused, like, what the heck? There's so much guidance, but before you decide what you're going to do to get where you're going, you do kind of need to know where you are, you know?
Absolutely.
And so that's a good first step, like know where you are.
For sure. And so we got a few minutes left on time, so I want to make sure we get into the Q&A. But
Yeah.
before we do that, I just want to give everybody an opportunity to connect with us after today's show. So if you want more information about how we can help you stand out from PE and get more leads and book more jobs, you can select who you want to hear from after the show. And Michelle, you ready for a couple of questions? We had a couple submitted through the Q&A.
Let's do it.
Cool. So we're a $3 million HVAC shop in a competitive suburban market. We've got decent reviews and a basic website. We're not showing up in AI or maps consistently. If you were in our shoes, what would we do in the first 60 days, 60 to 90 days?
Yeah, I love that question because that's Gerard Heating. Like we did that in 60 days. Right. So we do it one step at a time. So you're a 3 million. Congratulations. That's a nice size contractor. We really go one step at a time. So if you are doing anything at all regarding heat pumps or ductless heat pumps, get in the directory, right? That's a first step. And like, boom, it boasts your website and you can double your exposure and all of that. If that's not something that you do, your first step is probably going to be, I'm going to start doing some video and a press release. That's what I probably do. And when I work with a contractor like that, I always like to know, well, where do you make the money? Like, let's start targeting, right? And so tell me maybe the top 5 things, areas that you'd like to grow your business, and we'll start differentiating you in those areas, right? My one client is we're going after wild smoke and wildfire because it's been happening every year. Is there some kind of niche? If you're in a big market that you can do like wildfire, indoor air or whatever, it doesn't have to be ductless. But that's probably what I do is start a video program attached to a press release program. And then some of those owner interviews where we can start pushing who the owner is and building that trust and credibility and getting some things going out there on social. That would be the start. And maybe one of those video guidebooks. Yeah, for someone like that, like I can take over the search really quick if I did a 3 or 5 or 7-part video guide on a topic and did that one screen where I had for each video is a press release, a blog of this, that, and the other. So I'd love to hear from that guy or gal. Call me. Call me.
Cool. Another question. Let's see. Yeah, we've invested in a new website and SEO. We're still not seeing as much traction as we would have liked. How do we know if it's a strategy problem or an execution problem, or maybe just the game has shifted?
Well, right. So depending, so that's a big question. Well, you'd have to take a look at the website and just see how it was built and how it was tuned for SEO, and that'd be a good candidate for your audit just to take a look at that. But I'm going to say some of it probably has to do with the shift, right? So is generally speaking, websites are sinking in the search, right? And so you have to lift it up. And so I'd say that would be a really good candidate for you to look at the website and evaluate it. Like, what was it built? And was it built, like some people don't really ask, like, where do you make the money? What is we live in a world of priorities, right? So if someone comes to me with a website or whatever, I'm like, well, Google sees you as an HVAC or a plumber. That's the broadest level, and everything gets siloed underneath that. But where are your priorities? And where do we have some messaging where we can start getting a foothold in your market, right? So I'm going to say for that, not seeing the website or whatever, it's probably a little bit of that's a smart business owner, right? It's probably all 3 of the things that he or she mentioned, right? The website might not have been built. Maybe it needs more time. Things have shifted, and so we need to adapt.
At the end of the day, we're filling the top of funnel with new leads, and then we're booking those leads and we're collecting payment and we're doing the job. And that's our funnel. Those are the steps that we need to focus on day in and day out. And if, our website and our digital presence can serve us in giving us more leads and more calls at the top of that funnel, that's what we're really, worried about at the end of the day. So as we kind of progress down this new evolution of SEO and the things that contractors need to be, investing in and becoming more educated about, it's really important to understand how the tactical shifts translate into getting more calls, booking more jobs, and getting more revenue. So do you have anything that you'd want to add to that?
No, but I would say for both of those that had the question, video, you know, if I knew what their priorities were, and when we take a video and rank a video, you saw how my videos are at the top of the search, and then we take that and we add it to the website, you can pull the website up, and then we push something out in a press release, and then all of a sudden the AI is going, hey, this is different, not just a website, right? And so there would be a system. So good.
Right.
Ciao, ciao.
Yeah, absolutely. Michelle, how can people connect with you?
Hey, I didn't tell you this. In the midst of all this change that's going on in my own world, you can go to heysmartypants.com, and I redid my logo and everything. It's basically a landing page at the moment, but heysmartypants.com, and you're going to see a very concise message about the AI overview. And there is a form there that you can fill out that will alert me that you want to talk to me. And so that's a really good place. And if you're a family owned contractor and you want to get in on this advocacy program that's about to launch, dang, it's so good.
Just wanted to say, Michelle, thank you so much for, really sharing your time and your expertise today. It's so valuable. I think, somebody needs a trusted source of information in this kind of new AI era that can be so overwhelming, and just appreciate you being here.
Oh, I appreciate the invitation. As always, I love sharing knowledge with you and your audience. So thank you.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to joining you. And, thanks for everybody today that showed up and invested in yourself and your businesses. Quick heads up, I'm going to be flying to Florida tomorrow. I'm going to be sitting on a beach in Destin for the next week. So no show next week, but the following week we'll have a show, and I'll get you all that information. So ladies and gentlemen, until next time, keep learning, keep leading, keep growing a service business that makes an impact. Michelle, so happy to have you, and I'll see you soon.